Hello, record nerds of the internet. This is the Behringer UCA222. You can use this to digitize your records. But should you? Let's talk about it.
Six in the morning.
Okay, so I've had this thing for a while, and theoretically it's fairly easy. Plug this into a USB input on your computer. You plug in your turntable into here. Well, if you have a turntable that has a built-in phono preamp, you plug it into here. If you don't, you plug in your phono preamp into this, or your preamp out of the preamp into this. There's also an output in case you then want to send it to an amplifier or a preamp. There's an on-off switch right here. There is a SPDIF optical input, and then a headphone jack. So you can monitor, and then there's a volume control. You can monitor. I cannot get the lighting right on this. So you can monitor your recording. So I have a MacBook Pro, and I've been trying to record some clips of some records that I've been playing with some new cartridges that I've been messing around with for you good people of the internet. And this thing is a pain in the butt. So theoretically, I should just be able to go out of my phono preamp into this, record it with something like Audacity for free, and everything will be great. Well, let me tell you, that's not the way this has been working for me. I plug it in, I start recording, and I look at the input levels, and they are all in the red. Everything is just completely blowing out everything. So, it seems like an easy enough fix. You go in, you turn down your input level, and you move on your way. However, this thing, at least with a Mac, doesn't give you input level. It is up all the way. Even if you go into Audacity and try to turn it down there rather than through the system preferences, you can't. It is locked at all the way. So that stinks. So then I tried this with a preamp, namely the Manley Shrimp preamp from the tape out, thinking that might have less output gain and therefore would juice this thing less and therefore would not provide me with clipped recordings. And guess what? Did the exact same thing. So that stinks. The only thing I can do is I can go from the main out of the Manley Shrimp into this and then attenuate it with the volume to get it to a point where it's not clipping. Anything other than that, this has been a nightmare. And so after all of those, probably about an hour and a half of struggling with this thing, looking for a firmware upgrade, looking for drivers. There's drivers out there, but they're for Windows. I don't have a Windows computer anymore. I have been using Mac for about 10 years. Anyway. So, what did the clip sound like? It sounded bad. It didn't sound good. I can't even use it for its purpose. So, can I recommend this thing? No. It's $25. It should kind of clue you into the quality that you're getting. The only issue is that there's not a lot of other options out there, at least that I've found. So I'm going to continue to look for an option, at least with RCA inputs. I can find stuff with other inputs, but then I would have to rig up some sort of funky cabling, which I'd rather not do. I'd rather just be able to plug in and go. Anyway, there you go. Recommend don't buy if you have a Mac. If you have a Windows, maybe don't buy. I don't know. Maybe someone down below will chime in and say whether or not you can actually decrease the input volume on this thing in Windows, because you can't with a Mac. At least not in 2022 with the current version of Mac OS and this thing. It stinks. Oh well. Catch ya.